Milana is a master improviser, and she's had an amazing career just being funny and making up her own lines. Like she had one of the most successful commercial campaigns ever. Like just being herself and bringing her own sense of funny to the part.
Deserve credit.
Yeah, but I know that the best ones were just the ones that you made up on the fly, and that's the takes that they used, because that's the way it works. And Milana introduced me. She began doing stand-up a couple years ago, and she brought me into this like stand-up workshop writing creative group. And in that space, it taught us a way of writing as a group, and that I think helped us, like as writers together, kind of have an understanding of a framework.
Another thing that was very helpful in this like community writing process that Kestrin and I both tapped into is that no one had any kind of sense of urgency when it came to taking ownership over a joke. So we started writing jokes and pitching ways to punch up each other's stand-up and things like that together, and it made stand-up a much less lonely process. Screenwriting can be a very daunting thing, and it sometimes takes people years to write scripts, and I think it's part of the loneliness is sometimes what makes people not finish scripts. And I think part of the way that we wrote this, were like, we were all pitching jokes to each other, and we were all like helping craft each other's characters in a way. Kestrin certainly at the helm of that, especially when you're editing. Like that's a big part of the writing process of an improvised film, is picking certain lines, picking this moment from minute 3 and this minute from minute 42, and making them make sense together.
There's, I think, also too. I mean, I remember Breeda and I really debating about my character, and you bringing information to light about what transpires with my addiction and everything. There was no time for ego really. Because you were just like, fuck, what do I say? How do I get here? Blah, blah, blah. You know something? Okay, good. I'll chew on that and see if that works. And that the speed at which we had to get this going and get it made left no room for, you just had to cut the fat and take whatever you could from any resource.
So what we did is we would do, our incredible DP, Mina, would do a very intense, long handheld take. And then after we would do a single take, Kestrin would usually say, this bit and this bit, let's redo that. Right? So out of the improvised, we had from, like what Kestrin said, from point A to point B. Then we would sort of do it, see what would happen, and then we would try to do it again with, oh, we liked that. We felt that was interesting. This was, oh, okay, so I could do that, but then, oh, I want to add this, or I want to add that other moment onto this, or somebody would have an idea and they would try it out. Oh, okay, maybe that doesn't work. Okay, well, let's do this other idea. So the writing was happening as we were shooting.
I could see you do like impressions of this process for a good half hour.
Yeah, right now?
I can actually speak to this as like...
Go back and then like do it 4 more, like just like that, but not in that order.
Yeah. Okay, do it again, and then this one, and then that one. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, usually it was like we would do one thunderous, long, bludgeony, like clusterfuck of a first take, and then we'd see what the scene was, and we were like, oh, this is it. Trim out those spots, do it again, and then we covered it just like you would do any movie in any set with an actual script. Like it was not that improv-y once we did our first. The only thing that felt like improv was often the first take, and then we was just like covering a natural scene in any way. And then when you're editing, like, Sam and Milana and I both have a lot of experience editing, so we would write in the room and they would come in and they would give feedback. So like they were part of, and Breeda as well, like it was an iterative process where people would come and we would see like, okay, this makes sense. Okay, let's switch that. And one of the most magical moments on the movie, are you going to roll out? Oh, no. Okay. One of the most magical moments was like when we were getting ready to bring this film to South by Southwest for our world premiere, I had to get a sound bite and I had to open up the project file and like get into it. And I was rummaging through all these other takes of this huge like climactic group scene that we improvised. And it was so fun to see all the takes that we didn't use, and you could see Sam, we were all like, and Sam was like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and we were just laughing the entire time, and then we would do a take where everyone screamed and burst into tears, and we were like, oh yeah, okay, and then you do this, like, so everyone was helping each other, like, like, find their place and find their story and like get there. And we just got tighter every single take that we did. And I could recut this movie all over into a completely different version of this movie. Like this could be a broad comedy if I just used a different set of takes. And it was so sad, like happy and bittersweet and joyful looking at the takes that we didn't use because it was like this like abundant problem. Like I want to recut it. So when I was stuck on the side of the road in the middle of a rainstorm with a flat tire, like just getting drenched, and I got a text that we got accepted to South by Southwest, and I ran out into the street like Shawshank Redemption in the rain, like screaming. It was amazing, and all of us started calling each other at the same time, and everyone was just like jumping and screaming. It was amazing. So it's a dream come true. Also, the film is kind of loosely based on somebody who came to South by year one. So it kind of wraps it up full circle in a beautiful way.
Oh, it's so kismet that we're here. I mean, it's like there's 1,000 awesome minutia that brought us here perfectly, and we arrived like, this is exactly where we were supposed to be. This is the festival where we wanted to go. This is where we like... Yeah, this is the dream. We dreamed up a weird dream together, and then it happened. And now you guys are a part of it, too.
Thanks for being here.